Hey folks, it's here. Welcome to this interview. And with me is somebody who has been in the English communication coaching space. He's been coaching a lot of students, a lot of colleges, a lot of individuals to help them get better in English language. And Vinit Kapoor is somebody who is still also running a traditional institute of English coaching and training. And due to the lockdown and all of this, he was quickly able to pivot himself. And in the last 17 days, he was able to achieve 3,20,000 rupees by completely digitizing his business, applying the Freedom Business Model. So, Vinit, congratulations and great to see these results.
Thank you, Sid. I myself when I saw the results because I thought I would be going slow, but I implemented all that I had seen in your trainings and all that, and I could show the result to myself. So it was a surprise to me also, but I like that surprise.
Fantastic. Yeah. Tell us about your institute. Like, how long have you been running this English training institute? And you said you're based in Lucknow, right?
Yeah. I'm based in Lucknow. And actually, just to give you a brief background about myself, I come from a corporate background. So I worked in different, rather two companies actually for 17 long years at different levels. So I was heading UP when I chucked my job.
Okay.
So that was quite a cushy job, and I was getting good, and everything was quite good there. So I had a good lifestyle. But then there was something that I wanted to do, and I wanted to give it back to society. And this was the passion of teaching English that drove me to this point. So I mean, and my inspiration had been my own teacher, English teacher. We had started an institute actually long back, almost 20 years back, and we trained a student almost for nothing. Actually, we didn't take fee and all that. So we trained students from our community, from our city for 10 long years. But then all of a sudden we got a bad news that he passed away. And it was actually, I still tell my story in my webinar, and it's absolutely true that I got down at a station when I was going for a meeting, and I never went back to my company. Whoa. So it was almost 9-10 years back. I started my institute because he wanted me to do this, not the job. So he wanted me, and he used to say that, Vinit, I think it's all right. You're earning money, you're doing everything, but perhaps you're not giving it back the way you should. So then I started my brick and mortar business, my institute 10 years back. And then because I wanted to go to the deep pockets of India, which actually I tried my franchisee business also for 1 year. But it did not go to that extent that I wanted, and it needed a lot of involvement of mine also. Which actually was not possible if you wanted to scale it to national level. So so then the third thing was doing it as a social entrepreneur. So I went to villages. I still go to villages, by the way, and I give free training to these folks who don't have any idea about English and all that. But then again, the same thing. I could not go to different parts of the country. And then I came across your course, and I had this in mind, yes, I can digitalize it. But I actually did not have that trust on me, perhaps. And though, by the way, let me tell you that I have a huge fan following on social media. I've got almost 650,000 followers on YouTube.
Wow. Nice.
So, and I've got and in my course also, we have almost 10 buyers from outside.
From outside. Nice. So how many students have gone through your English coaching over the last 10 years?
I mean, number might have been say around 6,000.
6,000. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
This is actually in the institute. They come in batches.
In the institute, batches. Actually, we take projects also. So corporate projects. We have done projects with ITC. I've done with projects with different companies, and of course, big colleges also.
Yeah. Amazing. That's great to know. And tell us about your inspiration teacher. Like, what caused you to take his message forward? Like, tell us about that bond that you have with him.
So when I was growing up, actually, I was around 22 years of age. So we had a common friend. So actually, the age difference was not much. He at that time was perhaps 32. So we had an age difference of 10 years. And he was into it. Osho and all that. And I was also studying Osho. I was into philosophy and all this kind of stuff at that age. So we met at a common friend's studio. So he was a photographer, the
Okay.
friend. Yeah. So, and all of a sudden I started first discussing and then perhaps arguing with him.
Mm.
And then when he went away, so he left the studio. So this friend of mine said, what are you doing? Do you know this gentleman?
Mm.
He is into books like this and all that. And
Mm.
you were arguing with him.
Mm.
And I was so naive that I didn't know that. So I
Mm.
went back to him actually, and I apologized him next day. But then he liked it. He said, "Ki, would you like to do something for society?" And even at that time, actually, he wanted to do something.
Mm.
And we started an institute there in our city. I was
Mm.
into job actually by that time.
Mm.
I was a medical representative, as you say, in a
Okay.
pharmaceutical company at that
Mm.
time. And I was
Mm.
quite young. I wanted to do something.
Mm.
And then he was so different. He was a lecturer in a degree college, English lecturer, and till his last breath, he lived in one single room, with
Wow.
only books around him, no television, no nothing. I still remember that I forced him to buy a scooter. We became actually almost friends later on, and we ran that institute, and we trained thousands of students of our city, and still they know it actually. The name of the institute was I Am, and his name is Mr. Yogesh Shipper, my teacher.
Excellent. Excellent.
He really influenced me a lot, and he taught me what a good teacher can do. I think
Amazing.
you really can. A good teacher can change the society, and that's my mission as well. So unfortunately, we lost him. We tried to save him. You see, that's what I want to tell. Though he used to take, good salary, but ultimately it was his students actually who had to support him at his in his last breath.
Okay.
So dedicated he was to society. He did not save anything, and he gave so much. But the good thing is, even after say 10 years that he passed away, it's still my city. So you go to Saharanpur. I am from Saharanpur,
Okay.
and you ask five people who is Mr. Yogesh Shibbar, he would know it.
Wow. So he's
That's
left the
that's
legacy.
the
Yeah.
legacy. That's what I say. He leaving a legacy behind. So, and this is what he lived, he loved, he left a legacy. And that's what I want to follow that. And that's
Amazing
why
stuff.
I'm doing all this. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So tell us about now this transition that you are going through, from the physical brick and mortar model
Yeah.
to moving to the digital model. You got into my course around 6 months
Yeah.
ago, you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was that phase like? Where do you see things going? Because now you're looking at patterns from
Yeah.
this world and from this
Yeah.
world. And tell us about your views about this. Yeah.
It's altogether a different world altogether. I have been into, as I told you, into social media, YouTube in a big way. But I did not know how to build a course and then how to sell it, how to take it to the students and how to sell it. I didn't
Right.
know that. One more thing, I have been actually giving my services to different companies outside also. But let me tell you, Sid, even I actually, when I saw your course, when I went through it, I actually asked them to follow this model.
Mm.
And somehow I could not convince because that's a big company. I wouldn't like to name it here, but they are big. They are quite big outside. They didn't follow it. And I said, if you follow this model, let me tell you, you'll get much better results. When they did not do it, I talked to even their director also. So I said, okay, I'll show you one day. So it was a
Okay.
challenge. It was sort of a challenge to myself also that this can be done. And I have not yet told them. I have yet not told them, but I'll
Mm.
tell them,
Mm.
look, this is what this system can do. So as far as this word is concerned, it's altogether different for two big reasons. Number one, because of the scale that you can reach up to, which I could not because of my model. Actually, it is a limiting model. Brick and mortar model in education is all limiting, I believe. We have like Khan Academy, we have An Academy and all that, Byju's and all that. The reason that they could become big and reach out to the population was because of the scale they could raise the game up
Yes.
to.
Mm.
And that's what. So if you look at English training in India per se, you won't find any big company scaling it. And the reason is the same. Most of them, they operate on franchise business.
Got it.
And all said and done, you cannot implement things the way you want in this business. So now I can see that. I'm sorry, I won't be able to show you the work my students are doing right now, but I'll show
Mm.
you after 1 month.
Yeah.
They are doing a fantastic job. I could not get it done with my students in my institute.
Okay.
So I asked you, like you say, make a goal card. So
Mm.
their fifth day was making a goal card.
Nice.
And we have housewives, We have we have one gentleman. He's from Singapore, and he's in Fortune 500 company. He's a finance director.
Okay.
They are making gold card, sitting at their homes, and such creative gold card. Now that talks about the involvement. Now these are the people actually I could have not reached up to. I could have not gone to Muscat. I could have gone to Singapore. We have almost 8 students from Pakistan. And I got all these in last 17 days.
Wow.
So I can imagine that where we can go with this system. I mean, it is foolproof. If you still doubt it, I say to many of my students also. By the way, one of my student is your student also.
Okay.
And he himself is so impressed. You know what he's doing? I said, you know that what Sid used to say. He used to say, okay, implement it, show action, and he was not doing that only. He's sending me one English video every day.
Wow, nice.
And that's about action, getting into the action mode.
Okay.
And I think it is different when you come to the digital world. The whole world is your small family now.
Yes.
So earlier I used to think, मैं कैसे जाऊंगा? How would I reach there? How would I go there to villages and all that? Now I have students from all across, not only India, but from world also.
Amazing.
Yeah.
See, people may have this thought in their mind, right? That, only if they come to a physical school, there's this very personal connection is there. But what do you have to say about that? In digital, are you able to achieve that, especially with this group?
Yeah. So let me tell you that how we do it.
Yeah.
And I also had that in mind. Of course, technology cannot replace a teacher. But I think there have been models in the world which have shown it cannot replace it, but it definitely can enable a teacher to be a better teacher, even in digital medium.
Yes.
So what I do is like you used to do one-to-one. So I started with one-to-one. So I talk to them and I do a sort of orientation. So it's not being a teacher to them every single moment. It's like making them a teacher of themselves. So my model is a little different. So I do different, like we have got housewives and all that. So sometimes I call their husband also. So I say, okay, please, you also sit here. So now you're going to support her and you're going to do the things I'm going to tell them. So I've got 6 different points that I tell them, okay, you do this, you do this. If it's a professional, you have to do this. So, and this is what they're doing. So what they have to do, they have to do it, do the activities. So I've got a lot of activities and assignments.
Okay.
Every day almost there is an activity today of making a vocab dictionary. So they'll be making their own dictionary. They'll name it like it's not Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. It is Sugandha Advanced Learners Dictionary. And they love it. So what they are doing it now, they're doing it themselves. And this is how I learned English. There was no support system, but because I was passionate about it, I could do it. And they all are passionate. That's why they could find me. And they're doing amazing work. So it's about actually making the teacher. And that's my mission. My mission is to create 1 lakh qualified trainers all across the world, English trainers.
Amazing.
And we can change the world.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And what I can see is, teaching is not about giving knowledge. It is about facilitating, like what you're saying, how you can make them, how you can inspire them to take action.
Yeah.
And I think there's a beautiful quote that says, the great teachers are not people who tell the student what to do. They make the student think in a way where they discover the answer themselves.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to do.
That's amazing. I can totally relate with what you're saying.
Yeah.
So as you were going through my systems, like you've implemented all the systems on your own?
Yeah, I have implemented all the system on my own. Let me tell you, I've got a team in my office because I was into this space. But for your system, I did not even tell them. So I said, I'm going to do it myself because this is the challenge that you tell actually in the beginning, that you do it yourself. So I actually did not tell even my team that I'm doing something. Otherwise also I'm a little busy. I keep myself busy with all this work. But then I would wake up late at night. I would do certain things that you tell to do. And then I'm learning Facebook ads these days.
Okay.
So last night I was awake till 2. But until I got to that point that yes, I'm going to do it. And that's why I'm doing it myself so that I can teach others also later on.
Yes.
Okay, this is how it is done. Yeah, that's the reason.
Superb. So the website you built on your own, the systems you built on your own.
Yeah.
So tell us about, what were the top 3 things that really helped you the most in generating the income? because now knowledge is one part of it, but what really helped you in converting this into money? Yeah.
I believe if you talk about my flashpoint, it was your webinar selling formula. It is amazing. I mean, I did not take your template as such, but I took the way I observed you in different webinars. I went through your course, and that course actually I saw it twice or thrice.
Okay.
That what is the point? You know, I was surprised when I actually booked myself to your course, because generally traditionally I would not go for digital courses earlier. Now I do a lot. I had that doubt in my mind. How could people transform you? Actually, they can give you knowledge. How can they transform you? So when I bought your course, it was an instinct. Okay, it was an instinct. Like the way you were selling it. Actually, they were it was giving value. You gave the value, and it's tremendous value. And then when it came to the point of, okay, who all are going to, so those when you say, okay, those who still are not serious, those who don't want to transform, they can just go, and rest of them, so this is what I've got for you. And I once I mastered it, and I actually enacted it many times over. And then when I mastered it, and I was so amazed when people buy your courses and all that. Yeah. So, and I could never do that, by the way. Let me tell you that, as I told you, I was working for a company there also.
Yes.
Different platform. I could never sell that there. So I was the same man, but what was missing was the system. And I think your webinar selling formula, if you are selling, I mean, I would appeal to everyone. So if you want to sell a course, just watch his webinar selling formula again and again, and be at his webinar. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I think that is one point. I believe, and I still am making many changes in that also. But like you always say, 3 secrets and all that.
Yeah.
So my tagline is always the same. 3 secrets of effective English communication. Nice. So that effective English communication, and then 3 secrets, and then I unfold the 3 secrets, and they love it.
Amazing. So the webinar selling helped you.
Yeah.
What else? What are the 3 things that you want to take out from this?
Yeah. So one is webinar selling, and the second is, of course, the way you put things into action. I mean, your action mode, like you do a lot of hackathons and all that, and you ask people to do it now. So it's like most of the time I used to postpone the things. Like I wanted to do it, not that I didn't want to sell my products and all that, but then the question is why I was waiting for 1 year. I could have done it much earlier also. Yeah, it's not because of the time that I'm doing it, but I wanted to do it as well. So it was, anyway, I was going through your course and all that, and the way you said, do it now, show me the results. And so the second was going into action.
Action.
Yeah. And the third is, I think that is the biggest, and I always say it is inspiration. You, in a way, inspired me holistically. So I always say, because what I'm doing is not for money. And to you also, what I see in you is, you're not doing it for money, perhaps. And as you tell it, you want to give that, you want to enable people to be powerful. Yes. And that's actually the energy that I get. So sometimes when I'm down, I just take out your course. It's on my in such works. Just take out your course and start listening to you, and that energy comes. So I think these are the 3 things that really help me. But your webinar selling formula, that was the flashpoint. And I think if I can master that, I definitely can get still better results. I'm going through it. Yeah.
Awesome, Vinit. Great. Thank you for sharing. Really means a lot coming from somebody like you. So where do you think now the education industry is going, according to you? The entire system the world has changed forever. We know that. Yeah. So according to you, what is the vision of how is the education system going to change? Like if you were to do reforms right now, what ideas would you share?
If I were the education minister, I would close my schools and colleges forever. First of all, it's
serious.
Seriously. Actually, I've been educating it to many colleges. This is not the way we should give our education. I think that there is still a big fault in our education. And the reason is because the schools are the same. College. I have been to deep pockets of UP, Uttar Pradesh. I am from Uttar Pradesh.
Yeah.
I've not gone to government, and one day I'll go and I'll tell them, look, this is what happens, and this is why people, they become graduate. but they shiver when you make them stand at the lecture. They
Mm.
literally shiver because we don't give them any skill.
Yeah.
We only dump knowledge in this system.
Mm.
What digital education has done for even people like these. Now they are the people who are coming to my courses, they are buying my courses, they are from villages.
Mm.
And when they see, look what others are doing. So it's very unfair competition for these people. They stand actually for competition with the people who are from Mumbai, from Delhi, from English medium schools.
Mm.
So I think it's quite unfair. What government should do, that they should either, overhaul. It's not, it does not need reform. It needs overhauling. We need to overhaul it. We need to bring a different, and I think this is the right time.
Correct.
This is the right time that the government should overhaul the system. And I think government itself should introduce digital education there. So if there are trainers who want to give, trainers like me, and there are other also actually, there are many creators on YouTube. And why is it so that these students, they don't want to attend the lectures in the class, but they spend hours and hours. The watch time of some of my videos are many years. So it is thousands and thousands of hours. So that means they are consuming this. They're consuming this, and they are consuming it because they don't want to go back to that system. Now, what is going to happen? What I see, it's not that the change has already happened.
Yes.
So I was telling these teachers, why don't you digitalize? So I've got my daughters, actually 2 daughters, and they used to go for institute and all that coaching. So I used to tell their teachers, you have some wonderful teachers here. You all are. So why don't you digitalize? And they would say, sir, time nahi milta and all this kind of stuff. Now the same teacher, when it happened, so they telephoned me, sir, kaise karna? So I just told them, look, this is what I was telling you for last 1 year. So I believe the teachers should understand it now. Instead of reacting, they should respond to the change. And you see all the teachers, what they're doing. So look at these companies who are hosting videos and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have time now because the teachers are not going there, and the students are liking it. So it's going to turn 360 degree once they go back. So what has happened is actually post-corona, the pockets of India, those actually who did not have access to these digitalized classes, now they have it.
So it's going to give the power to the people.
Absolutely. And they will demand it actually.
Yes.
They'll demand it. So
they're hungry. They're hungry.
They're more hungry. So even these colleges, professional colleges, now they are giving digital classes. So they were forced actually to give it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I'm really excited about this transformation that's happening, which also means like there's on one side, the reforms need to happen at institutional level. Yeah, because all these big real estate, so much of space, all of that is going to move into digital. People are going to spend, eventually they're going to be spending more and more time online. It's just a matter of helping people improve their skills to teach online, their facilitation skills.
That's right.
And on the other side, I think even the parenting side of it also needs to be like how parents can also understand it is not about just graduation and degrees and this, because even the big companies are, I mean, they are cutting jobs now. They're not taking graduates. They're looking at people's aptitude, skills, and attitudes. So I think that the entire society is moving in a. I am loving the direction in which it's going.
Though they are forced to actually, but actually, you see, this is what happens generally. You're so lazy that until you are forced to do something, if I don't do it, I'll be destroyed. So you don't do it. So now, in a way, though it's not a right way to do it, but we are going into the right direction. India, I think, is moving into the right direction. I can see that. It's a huge change which is going to happen.
Amazing.
It's good for everyone. Good for the system, good for government, good for the students, parents, and for trainers like me also.
Yes. Awesome, Vinit. Thank you so much. This was an amazing interview. Those of you who have been listening so far, please share in the comments below. What were your biggest takeaways from this interview? And we would like to actually read your comments. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, in the description, I've given a link to Vinit's website and his YouTube channel. Please go and follow him. And if you have kids who want to learn communication English, by all means, Vinit you're in safe hands with him. And if you want to learn the system and the formula that helped Vinit transform in the last few months, taking his knowledge online, you can go and check out my formula. There's a link below there. You can go and check it out. So before we leave, Vinit, I just want to once again thank you so much for achieving this first milestone of how many you did, around 3.2 lakhs in 17 days. I mean, that has opened up a whole new world of possibilities for you. That's great to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I truly wish that you're able to scale this much further. You're able to impact more and more people with the formulas that you have developed. And I can just straight off say that, see in you, you're a beautiful teacher online. I'm sure many people are having fun in that journey with you. So,
Thank you so much.
Keep it going. And before we leave, based on all the experience that you've had from all the teachers in your life, what would be the one thing would you like to share with the audience when it comes to the aspect of success in this world? What is your philosophy of success?
Well, I always say, I think intention is good, but action is always bigger than the intention. I would give one success formula actually, and now I give a lot of success formula. Like I do like going by your method. I do a lot of stuff on social media and all that. I give winning formula. So if you want me to give one winning formula, that is always say this: action is bigger than intention.
Amazing.
I think if you think yes, it needs to be done, it should be done immediately, irrespective of the fact what result will it bring up. Your heart should say, you should be clear in your heart, okay, what I'm doing is right, and just do it. So I will just remember that line of Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
So action is bigger than intention. So act now. So if I say do it now, so act now. Don't have any doubt on your mentor, on anyone. Just follow him blindly. And that's what I did in your case also. That's what I tell my students now. So if you trust me, either you don't trust me or you trust me. If you trust me, follow me blindly. And you will reach
amazing,
there.
amazing. Action is bigger than intention. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Wish you all the best, Vinit. And
thanks a lot.
Yeah,
thanks
keep watching for the future.
Yeah, sure. It was nice talking to you. Sid, it was actually for me also a dream come true. You know, we met for a very small time in digital masters conference in Delhi. Yeah, in Delhi. And I went there actually to meet you personally. And though we had a very, very small interaction, but I would love to meet you again in person anytime that we can. I had booked for that Millionaire Summit also, though it is postponed now.
Yes.
And just for the same reason that. Awesome. And it is my pleasure actually to be talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the best. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.